Hey Redheads and everyone else listening, I'm Stephanie.
I'm Adrienne, and today's episode is super cool and unique, and we've never talked about anything like this before. It is about it's an alternative therapy that's also like an ancient Chinese healing technique,
Yes.
Correct? And it's called Gua Sha.
Gua Sha.
Gua Sha. It's a facial Gua Sha.
Yep.
And so we're talking to Sandra Lanshin Chiu. She has received millions of hits on YouTube for her video about how to use a facial Gua Sha.
Yes.
And so what's so cool is we're going to have her on to talk about not only what the facial Gua Sha is. It's like, if you guys haven't seen it, we'll put it in the podcast notes with a picture. It looks to me, like when I first saw it, my first initial reaction was, it looks like a flat stone.
Yes, it does. Yeah. And it's kind of shaped
like a healing stone, like one that you would see in like a shop.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's
shaped
soft.
And each part of the tool from the research that I've done is
for a purpose.
Yeah. And Derma they were in our February H2Bar Box, actually sent Adrienne and I a bunch of products, and they sell a Gua Sha tool on their website. So they sent it to us. So of course you receive something like that. We've never really covered anything like that even on our website. So I went on YouTube, I typed it in, and Sandra's YouTube video came up, and she has like over 1 million hits, and her 101 tutorial about how to use it. I actually set up my computer in my bathroom and she does a whole walkthrough on the right side of your face, left side. And
you can see the difference.
You can really see the difference, especially she does say take a lot of care underneath the eye because it is very thin, part of your face. But I noticed a really big difference. And you might think Gua Sha tool is, and we'll dive in with Sandra about this, is very different, I think, but similar in like a sister category with the Jade roller, which I know so many people put the Jade roller like in their freezer. And
people have asked to have a Jade roller in the H2Bar Box.
Yeah. So I think it will be just, it's something that we've always wanted to talk about, when it comes to the Chinese medicine approach. Adrienne and I find it fascinating. And
yeah, so like to break it down for those who are like, what the hell are you two talking about right now? To break this down, like, this is what it is. If you are doing this technique, you need this tool.
Oh yeah, you need the Gua Sha tool.
It's a Gua Sha tool. It's like flat. It's flat.
It's a Jade Gua Sha tool. Yeah.
And you can do it yourself. Obviously, there are services like...
Yeah, she does services.
She has services at her Brooklyn location. We were just looking. You can go get it done. But the benefit of doing this and following a tutorial like on YouTube that we will put in the podcast notes is that you can do this at home. Obviously, we want to put a big disclaimer in that if you have any health concerns, because this is usually good for people who have chronic pain, they want better health, they want better circulation, etc.
Yeah.
But definitely always talk to your doctor. Stephanie and I are both talk to our doctors on like our health portals online. So consult with your doctor before you do anything that you feel is going to change the way you feel.
Yeah,
and I want to say that.
I thought this was so interesting because the Gua Sha, it reduces inflammation, so often used to treat people that have chronic pain such as arthritis, as well as those that trigger muscle and joint pain. So it relieves a lot of symptoms.
There's like so many more. I'm looking right now. Hepatitis B, migraine headaches, neck pain, Tourette syndrome.
But I think the most important thing, I know what article you're looking at, is it may seem like a really straightforward and simple technique, but it should be performed professionally or by looking at this tutorial and getting some of her tips that we'll talk about. Because, for instance, it's really important to not apply too much pressure because you don't want to harm your skin.
She says be mindful.
Be mindful with each stroke. You also want to make sure that you're doing each section about 5 or more times, but you aren't putting too much pressure on your face and neck and back area when you do this. And at the same time, you want to make sure your skin's hydrated. We'll go into detail about how to prep your skin before doing this at home.
And start slow.
Yeah. And
like, don't like rush into this tomorrow, buy one online and then like rush into it. We always want you guys to do your due diligence. Listen to this podcast, look at the YouTube video before you do it, read about it. purchase it if you want, and then perform it or book an appointment to get it done. Because with these, what I've learned is there's a lot of ancient Chinese healing techniques out there, and a lot of them are very powerful and they do work, but never rush into anything. And that's why listening to this podcast is very important.
Yeah. So before we give Sandra a call, just a little 101 about her. Oh my God, just looking at her bio on her website. So she's an acupuncturist, Chinese herbalist, and founder of Her Treatment by Lanshin. In practice for over a decade, she focuses on treating skin disorders and rejuvenating the skin using the unique approach of Chinese medicine. And she does this in Brooklyn. And she believes all of this will transform the future of skincare. She's specially trained in herbal dermatology. She uses Chinese herbal medicine and acupuncture to resolve common skin problems like acne, rosacea, eczema, psoriasis. And so she's really big into about her whole wealth of knowledge, and what we'll dive into is about Chinese medicine. And
can redheads do this?
And is it a good approach for those with sensitive skin? We'll dive into, is it good for those with acne? Really kind of get the 411 on this, I think, because it's something so unique. And when it comes to like the tools out there that we'll be talking about, is it important to get one just off Amazon? Are you looking for something in particular? Are you looking for something authentic? I think finding the right tool, because it is going on your skin. So you don't want to find something, I don't know, maybe that's not the case. But I think it's important to kind of just get the foundation and get the right information. So then you can do this at home.
Yeah. And she has highly demanded classes that she actually teaches general public about.
Oh, really?
So I wanted to ask her when we get her on about like if she has any upcoming who are in the New York area to go. I would think that it would be like a totally healing, cool experience. But yeah, she teaches daily self-care and how to implement this. So let's call her and get all of the information about it. So cool.
Guess what, Redheads? The H2Bar Box is now offering a deluxe version of the Beauty Box, sent out 4 times a year, in addition to the monthly box. You now have 2 options for enjoying the Beauty subscription box for Redheads. The monthly box is worth $80 plus, and the deluxe quarterly box is worth $250 plus.
Each and every product is Redhead Friendly approved. Head to h2barbox.com to subscribe and use code PODCAST to receive 20% off.
Hello.
Hi, Sandra. This is Stephanie and Adrian Vendetti from How to Be a Redhead.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi. So we were just talking all about your awesome technique. We watched your whole YouTube video. We are like
obsessed.
We just think you are so
you.
awesome. So thank you for coming on, because we're so excited to ask you so many questions.
I feel like you're a celebrity.
No. Well, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
So yeah, Stephanie actually stumbled upon your YouTube video, and we just rewatched it for like the 10th time before this. But we really saw a difference, and we both are redheads, obviously, and our skin is so sensitive, particularly mine. This is Adrian. And I just felt like it really worked. And so for something to work on my skin, we are really passionate about that. So can you just talk about the
Gua Sha benefits?
Yeah, like the whole benefits of doing it, maybe like the 101 for people who don't know anything about it.
Oh, sure. Well, I think a good place to start is to understand the background of Gua Sha and where it came from. So you guys just practiced and are familiar with the facial Gua Sha technique, but facial Gua Sha is actually part of a larger practice of Gua Sha, which is in a really important tool and technique in Chinese medicine practice. So I don't know if you guys ever experienced Gua Sha on your body from your acupuncturist.
No, it sounds
wonderful,
Chinese medicine.
Though. So most people are familiar with, I'll call it body Gua Sha, but it's just referred to as Gua Sha.
Okay.
And that's where a Chinese medicine practitioner will usually here professionally, you'll get it from a Chinese medicine practitioner, but in China and in Asia, grandma or auntie knows how to do it. And it's just part of the culture. It's almost part of like like a folk medicine that is passed down through the generations. And, health and wellness is very deeply embedded in the Chinese culture. And so this is a common tool and technique that's used, but it's also used in professional situations like here in the States when you go get an acupuncture treatment. It can often be coupled with something like Gua Sha or cupping, right? Are you familiar with cupping?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Gua Sha comes from this tradition, right? And it's, like I said, it's an important tool in Chinese medicine. We use it to treat all sorts of different ailments, most notably pain conditions. Very effective for helping to relieve pain anywhere in the body. And so the practice of Gua Sha involves a smooth tool or object. When it's done on the body, you will see people using things even like a porcelain soup spoon. But then, of course, there are specific smooth tools that are designed specifically to do Gua Sha technique. And so it's often translated as scraping, which isn't the best translation because it sounds a little scary, right?
Right.
But it's this sort of friction technique that you do on someone's body. Usually you lubricate them with like an oil first. And on the body, it's a lot more aggressive than on the face. But what it does is it helps to break down stagnant blood and material that's in your tissues. So we say that it breaks down stagnant blood and it frees up your circulation. So in Chinese medicine, circulation is king. Everything is centered around improving, stimulating the flow and the strength of the flow of your circulation. So because that affects healthy functioning throughout your entire system. So Gua Sha is a tool that we use to achieve that. And that's why it's helpful in pain conditions. It's also something that's commonly used to help stave off the common cold because it is also helpful to stimulating your immune system, almost like rebooting your immune system. So Gua Sha has this rich, deep tradition and it's an ancient practice. I mean, anciently it was used to treat cholera back in the day when that was a thing, right?
Yeah.
So now, we have facial Gua Sha, which is a softened, slowed down, much, much gentler version of body Gua Sha. And in body Gua Sha, when you practice it, one of your goals is to bring up that red color. Have you guys seen that with like cupping?
Yes.
Yeah. So if that shows up on your body,
that's good.
It's good. And it usually only shows up where there's a problem. So in healthy tissue, it'll just turn a little pink. And then,
really?
Yeah, that's what's fascinating. So
that is so fascinating. The body, Stephanie and I talk about it all the time.
It's like, all the time.
It amazes me every day. Like my mouth is hanging open right now because I'm just like, of course the body does that.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like Chinese medicine, so facial Gua Sha and Gua Sha are part of Chinese medicine tradition. That's why I think it's so fascinating to share with people what is available from the medicine, because you actually learn something deeper about yourself as a body. And there's a lot that Chinese medicine principles can teach us that we aren't maybe aware of in our common everyday consciousness, So, but this is a long way to say that that's the background of Gua Sha. It's an important healing tool in our medicine. So when we bring it up to the face, like I said, it's slowed down. We do not try to make your skin red and we call it expressing the redness or expressing the Sha of Gua Sha. So what we do facially, and we work with the face and the neck because the neck is really important area to work with when you're trying to create change for the face. So we do it in a way that it's slower, gentler, much more relaxing. And what we're able to achieve are also an improvement in circulation of your blood, of fluids, aka lymphatics, and chi, energy. And so by improving the circulation, you improve the healthy state of your tissues and your skin.
So the texture in the tool itself is all on purpose, right? Because to me, it just seems like every inch of that tool, like the facial Gua Sha, it just is all right there for you.
Yeah. Are you talking about my tool or just tools in general?
Your tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Like, I just feel like the texture of it and like everything about it makes perfect sense for the way that you use it.
Oh, I'm so glad that you get that on an intuitive level, because yes, this particular tool, my Gua Sha tool was designed, the Lanshin Pro Gua Sha tool, because I have a few. But if you're referring to the Lanshin Pro one that's black, it's like kind of looks like a bustier.
Yes, and beautiful.
Yes, so beautiful. Yes, thank you. So that tool was designed out of my experience with doing facial Gua Sha on myself and on clients. And I wanted to fit the tool with as many different features and shapes and angles that I could in one tool to really get the most out of using one tool for an entire treatment. So yeah, it's very curvaceous because and that's on purpose because, well, as we all know, we're curvaceous. Our body is curved, our face is curved. And so the tool I felt must be curved so that it can really fit our face well, because good results from Gua Sha come from being able to make a good contact with the different features of your face or your body, because actually this is a tool that's designed for the face but can easily be used anywhere on the body.
Yeah, so that kind of goes into one of our questions about the actual tool that Adrian and I talked about, because I know when it comes to like the Jade roller, we've received so many questions over the last, year or so, whenever Jade roller started to get really popular, from our Redhead followers asking, okay, is there like a certain kind I should be looking for? Because, there's so many, I don't want to say knockoffs on Amazon, but so you know what I mean about finding the right tool. Are you looking for a certain kind of material, or like we love yours because the grooviness, like on the side, you don't see that on a lot of Gua Sha's tools. So what would someone be looking for in a tool, like the right one?
In a Gua Sha tool? Well, first, to answer your question about Jade rollers, because there are two very different tools, right?
Yep.
So I actually, it's such a good question. And because it's such a common question, I don't know if you saw this, but I also made a video answering that question. And it's like an 8-minute long video because it's really that much information I have to share about the difference between Jade rolling and facial Gua Sha.
We'll definitely put that in the podcast notes for sure.
Yeah, I can provide that for you, no problem. But in essence, so the thing about the difference between the two tools is, number one, a Jade roller is really easy and really simple, right? Like it's pretty intuitive. You just roll it around in your face. So there's a benefit there, because for people that aren't as comfortable with like body work or get a little bit worried they're going to do wrong facial technique, I feel like this is better than nothing, right? A Jade roller that you can use to penetrate your product and create some movement and create a bit of circulation in your tissues by using that rolling motion. Now, facial Gua Sha, as you guys know, you need a bit more guidance to be able to use the tool in a way that will deliver results. Now, it's not hard, but you do have to do a little more work and make a little more effort, when you are doing facial Gua Sha at home, and you need to learn how to do it, right? Whereas a Jade roller, I'm not really sure that, you necessarily need to watch a tutorial. It's pretty intuitive. So there's a benefit there, because both tools help with circulating the tissue, giving it some movement, which is really, really important actually when it comes to skin health. So But if you are someone who's willing to, use a little time and make a little bit of effort to learn, watch a tutorial, or come to a class. I teach classes here in Brooklyn. So we get some hands-on. You guys are invited to come anytime.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we saw that on your website.
We were just talking about how we definitely wanted to ask for people who are in the tri-state area. We have a ton of followers there. They can just go to your website and see dates and when they can go.
Exactly. Okay. Yes, exactly. And there will be more coming out, more dates added soon. But so with facial Gua Sha, I would say you have the ability to do a lot more with it. And because a jade roller motion, you're rolling over the skin, right? But with facial Gua Sha, you're actually creating a little bit of stretch. You're creating a little bit of friction. You're able to shape, with the shape, the different edges of the tool, you can actually help shape and contour much more effectively, in my opinion, than a jade roller. So in professional practice, when I treat clients, I never use a roller because I can get so much more done. Yeah, because I can get so much more done with the Gua Sha and just see bigger results. So it's not to say that everyone should do facial Gua Sha over jade rolling, because if it's all you have time to do is jade rolling, or if it's all the capacity that you have is to do something simple like jade rolling, great, do it. But if you want to go a little bit deeper and try to create some extra results for yourself, then I would say facial Gua Sha is really worthwhile to learn.
Yeah, I loved you did a video back in December on your Instagram about doing your number 11 with the Gua Sha tool.
Furrow.
Yeah, and I thought that was so interesting because I would never think that it would help against lines that are already.
I mean, the picture of your mom before and after. It was her mom.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's like incredible. That before and after photo.
Yeah. Well, that was a mixture of facial acupuncture and facial Gua Sha. Mom got special treatment.
She looks beautiful. I mean, she was beautiful already, but her before and after that you shared, it was like,
dramatic, right?
Yeah, it was. It made Adrian and I, we were shocked.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what these tools can do when you know how to use them. Obviously, that was a long professional treatment. That was longer than like the 10, 15-minute home routine that I teach through the tutorial videos and also in class. But it's what is possible. And earlier you were the benefits. I was saying, its way of improving and stimulating circulation is really powerful. But what that does, it also, by the way, releases tension in your fascia, in your tissue, in your muscle. And that's really important as well, especially when you're trying to shape and sculpt or return volume to the face. Yeah. And also to depuff. And these are the kinds of benefits that come out of being able to circulate your skin and tissue better, is you do see a softening of lines and wrinkles, deep or fine. You see depuffing happening. You see puffiness come out. Yeah. A lot of people do these days. You see puffiness come out of where it's, excessive, but then you see volume return to where it's been lost. So it's this interesting, you get this interesting, like best of both worlds, right?
Right.
So, and then complexion smoother, brighter, texture smoother. Definitely helpful with acne, which is something people are surprised to learn. But it's an important part of what homework that I give to all of my acne patients is to do the Gua Sha technique as regularly as possible.
I was going to ask about that.
Over their acne.
Over the acne. Okay. However, caveat, not over broken skin. Right? We don't do Gua Sha over open bleeding skin. We wait for it to close up and heal. But if that's not happening, like, especially if you have this like underground cysts, then it's perfect, because what you're doing through the Gua Sha technique is, again, circulation is an important term here. You're circulating your tissue and your skin. And acne in Chinese medicine, we don't see it as much as infection as Western medicine does. I'm not saying that there isn't infection in there. We when we look at acne, we see congestion and a buildup of heat and inflammation. So what do we want to do? We want to move it, circulate it, get things moving. And that's what facial Gua Sha offers. And that's why a lot, I would say almost every single one of my patients and many, many of my students or give feedback that it really does help in reducing the sort of angry appearance of pimples. It won't necessarily prevent them from coming up if that's coming from a deeper, more stubborn internal condition. They still may come up, pimples, but excuse me, using Gua Sha, you can really help them move out faster. You can help them kind of flatten out a bit, be a little less red. And it just takes the edge off the appearance. And really, I would say it encourages the healing of acne. And it can be, I don't use it as the sole tool for resolving acne in my practice, but it's definitely an important support tool.
Yeah. So this is awesome. So say Stephanie and I, or any redhead who's listening, wants to do this. What do you do first to prep the skin? Like, should you do it in the morning or night? Does it matter? Do you like wash your face, moisturize?
All great questions. Yeah. So always start with a clean surface. So cleansed skin. So you do your cleansing routine, and it can be done morning or night. It can really be done any time of day as long as your skin is clean and you prep it. So after you cleanse your skin, you're going to moisturize it with, I recommend a hydrating mist.
Okay.
You know, not like an acid or alcohol or witch hazel based toner, but
like a rose water,
like any kind of fluid based hydration that could include rose water. It's usually something that's watery. It's a watery product that you mist onto your face, or in some cases, you one of the ones that I use a lot is, or two of the ones I use a lot is Josh Rosebrooks Hydrating Accelerator.
Yeah, I think I recommended that.
Yeah, I also use Marie Veronique's Balancing Hypotonic a lot, and that one is not a spray. It's you just pour it into your hand or onto a piece of gauze. But so you start by hydrating with with fluids, right? Just like your body.
Okay.
And then the other step that's important is I would skip right over to a facial oil, something that will give your skin some slip. And if you use serums, like active serums with like say vitamin C or A or some botanical active ingredient, you would do that in between. Oh. So you layer your products just as you would at any other given time that you're moisturizing your skin, where you start from lightest to heaviest.
Yep.
So usually the serums are kind of in between.
Okay. So you still continue with the serums if you want.
Absolutely. Okay. Because another benefit of facial Gua Sha is that it helps to penetrate your products into your skin. Now, this isn't scientifically proven. Like, there's no study out there that can measure this this fact. But so I would say it's believed that it can, and I've just experienced it happening in my practice. Okay. So hopefully one day they will do a study, but they've done some other interesting studies with facial Gua Sha. I know this conversation is not long enough to talk maybe about these interesting facts and details of research, but there is some research out there that has been done mostly in Asia. So anyway, back to prepping your skin. So after you've applied your hydrating mist, your serum if you use one, and your facial oil, your skin should be have a nice slip to it. It should feel moisturized, and then it's ready for the Gua Sha routine.
Okay. Yeah. And then I do it on myself. I mean, how often do you recommend doing it? Like weekly? I guess I got to get better at that.
When you're just doing a 10-minute, say, daily routine, you can do it as often as daily. Okay. And you can even do it like, the number of strokes that you do at each point on the face and neck will either make your routine longer or shorter. So let's say you did a super abbreviated express routine where you're just doing like 3 repetitions at each step, you can have like a 5-minute Gua Sha routine. Even that will benefit your skin. And actually, even that alone will really help you prep makeup. And this is one of the benefits that I learned later through my students who are makeup artists, what a great tool it is for helping to prep makeup. So a lot of my makeup artist students have told me that now it's become part of their work and their routine when they prep their clients. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That must really make the makeup look even better because the skin is like circulating and like healthy.
Yeah. And many have told me that some of the skin that they work on, it's because it can often be, the texture can be a little bit damaged from all the kinds of over treating it, that can happen.
Yeah.
Then makeup doesn't really hold well or sit well on the skin. But after doing Gua Sha, they find that it does so much, much better. So I thought that was interesting. Fun fact. So
yeah,
that is.
And then how do you wash the tool after? Is there a quick way under hot water?
So first I'll say with the frequency is that, so you can do it up to daily, but even if you did it 2 to 3 times weekly, you would still see results.
Okay.
You would still get a benefit. Now, washing the tool is super easy. You just wash it with hot water and soap to get the oils off the tool.
That makes
then
sense.
Just store it. Yeah. If you're just using it on yourself, that's all you really need to do. But if you're sharing the tool, then maybe you want to like spray it or rub it with some alcohol just to disinfect it a bit more.
Now, I know to go back to this, I was just thinking like maybe our redheads are thinking what's going through my brain right now. So we should ask. So when you put the mist on and then you do your whole routine, are you starting with the Gua Sha right after, or are you kind of just waiting for it to seep into your skin, like the products, and then use it? Or is like the idea to kind of use it with your skincare products?
I think that you use it with your skincare. And
okay, that's what I do. I was just I was hoping. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's definitely. And I think it's sort of the missing piece of your skincare. So, we all think that a product is going to be the thing that changes our skin. And certainly it's part of the formula. But I feel like Gua Sha and things like facial massage, things that really manually circulate your skin. This is an important part of the equation of having really healthy, glowing skin. And so now I think that's why people are, so like drawn to this. It's like people are coming to this in droves because it proves the principle of like circulation is king, right? Like it really changes quickly the appearance of your skin and by changing and improving the health of it. So, so you do it immediately because that really helps those products penetrate into the skin, which is the challenge of skincare, is to get it to penetrate through all the skin layers to the place where it will benefit and activate, healthy function in your skin. And so anything that you can do to help that is really beneficial.
Yeah, it seems to me too that it's like, I'm sure it's almost like it's like yoga for the skin. Cause like when I'm in yoga class, Stephanie's like an active yogi. I'm not, but you know, it's like all about like doing the best for you and like be mindful and like,
we love that you said that in the beginning of your YouTube
I was
video.
Like, that's
you said
so
with the stroking of making sure it's flat and you're doing mindful strokes, which that's important. So you're not just looking at yourself in the mirror and about to perform, Gua Sha, and you're not just, doing it in a hurry, that each stroke is mindful. Adrian and I really love that you said that.
Oh yeah. No, I'm glad because what's so amazing about facial Gua Sha in particular, and I'm constantly like amazed and inspired by it, is that it really is also a mindfulness practice. And it not only has a practical benefit, as you're literally and physically circulating your skin, bringing more health into it, literally, it's also helpful in working with your emotional nervous system. And I think I agree. It's kind of like yoga. I also think of it as kind of like a face Tai Chi,
Right.
Like,
Oh yeah.
because you can really slow it down, just like Tai Chi movements are intentionally slowed down, because that's where you get the benefits of Tai Chi, relaxing your body, strengthening your organ systems. That's one of the things that it relies on, is that slow, methodic, intentional movement. And you can apply that idea to your facial Gua Sha, where you slow it down. It's intentional, it's methodical, and you're really just mindful and in the present moment with it, touching your face and touching your skin, and therefore being in your body, And so that has the benefit of relaxing you in a way that, you could skip that glass of wine when you come home. You could do your facial Gua Sha. Not that there's anything wrong with wine.
No, yeah.
You could do both.
And it is such a good self-love treatment, with whatever you do. Like for me, Adrian said, like, I love doing yoga, but performing it at home, I have noticed a difference, but I know what you mean. I like the way I feel after. I'm calm. I realized I have to sit down when I do it, because if I stand up, it's just, I don't know. I don't feel
you get sleepy.
Yeah, I don't know, but I like
to make it a practice,
and I like the feeling of it. Yeah, and I've noticed such a big difference. So I think it's become I think it's important to find what you want, what works for you. Like you said, doing like an express sort of, with just doing maybe 3 strokes in each area. I really like doing the 5, but I did notice, you do need time to do it, but it has become part of a wellness routine almost.
You need time, but not a lot of time. It's
not a
easy
lot,
to
no.
create. Yeah, it's easy to create a space in your day.
Exactly.
And a lot of people are saying to me, once they start doing it, they can't stop. Like, they just have to, it's like brushing your teeth. Because the benefits, it's like, why wouldn't you want to continue having this all the time? Having the hydrated, moisturized, healthy looking and feeling skin. I'm actually, just to say something I'm glad you brought up yoga, because one of the things I think is important to make people aware of is that facial Gua Sha is a practice like yoga, like Pilates, like exercise, that you have to continuously do. You have to, just like you have to come back to the mat, you have to come back to the tool regularly in order to achieve the benefits and maintain the benefits. It's very different than Botox and fillers in that sense, where, with Botox and fillers and that type of cosmetic treatment, you do it and then you don't really have to do anything for anywhere from 3 months to a year, depending on the treatment, right? But with Gua Sha, it does ask for you to keep coming back to it and to keep practicing it in order to achieve the results. So I think that's an important distinction, because some people—
I love that analogy.
Because
comparison,
some people compare Gua Sha to Botox, and I understand why they're doing that, but I just don't want people out there to think that you could just do Gua Sha once and you're good.
Right.
Okay, so people who get Botox or fillers, do they have to wait after to do?
Yes, that is such an important question. So I've asked a lot of my cosmetic dermatology friends, and when I was trained in facial Gua Sha, we were trained to have people wait 3 months. However, and this is important, after I asked my cosmetic derm friends, they said 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 3 weeks, because, and only in, most people don't, for example, Botox their entire face. They might just do their brows and their forehead.
Yeah.
So if you're 3 weeks inside of your fresh Botox treatment, then just avoid that area. Do everywhere else.
Oh, that's a great tip. I love that.
Now fillers, I think you have to ask your practitioner, because I don't totally understand the different types of fillers, and some are long lasting, some aren't. So I'm not really sure how to advise on that. But if I had somebody come to me with fresh fillers, I would avoid that area, just to be on the safe side. Not because it's necessarily dangerous, in a harmful way, but I just don't want to mess with what, this doctor has done to carefully balance this person's face with the injections. I just don't want to mess with their work.
That makes total sense.
Yeah. So 3 weeks is about, for Botox, is the guideline that I've been given by actual MDs. Fillers, again, ask your doctor.
Okay. Now, to the last question we wanted to ask to wrap up, like the whole feel of this, is about a wellness routine surrounding the facial gua sha. So like, should there be a practice of wellness too? Like, what do you do for your daily wellness routine on top of this practice?
Well, for anyone who's interested in gua sha, it can certainly be a anchor of their daily wellness routine. It can be, one of the, what do you call it? Like touch points of your daily wellness routine. And especially if people, a lot of our students have commented that like this feels like sitting meditation, like what they get out of sitting meditation, they also get out of a contemplative,
I love that.
mindful. Yeah. So I thought that was an interesting piece of feedback, and I agree. But in terms of skin health in general, you do want to think about things outside of just your facial gua sha practice. I would say that to start with something really basic, which is basic daily care and feeding of your body. So, it's like we have our like iPhones or some gadget, for instance, it comes with an operating manual.
Right.
Well, if we had just a really super basic operating manual for how to operate your body, in Chinese culture and in Chinese medicine, we say it's really simple. You want to sleep, you need to poop, you need to have an appetite and eat, eat good foods and drink and move. So if those things are covered and those things are working well, then your body is pretty good. Your health is pretty good. But if you look at people today, often one or two of those things are out of whack. And so I always say, before you really think too hard about anything, any new supplement or any new like health trend, just take care of your basics. Make sure that you sleep. And if you don't sleep well because you have like an insomnia condition, go resolve that, figure that out, go and see professionals that can help you with this, because that's really important. You need to be able to sleep and restore every day. And,
we love sleep. So you're talking to the right women. Yeah.
Not only sleep, but non-doing, resting.
Right.
So
yes.
The art of doing nothing, like learning how to do that.
Yeah, to be at rest. So for every unit of action or work that you do, ideally there's an equal unit of non-action and not doing anything.
Right.
Body still.
Exactly. I saw an article the other day and it was so I loved it. It went in detail. It's a daily meditation that I do. And they said we weren't put on this earth to stress every single day. Our bodies are temples is what the whole, reading was about. And it really resonated with me because I'm like, we weren't put on this earth to, following your passion and your dream and working hard is great. But at the end of the day, caring for your body is number one. Yes.
Right. And I think that's why the facial gua sha helps you with the balance of life. That's what I've taken from it.
Yeah. When in doubt, do something to take care of your basic care and feeding. That's all. Just turn to that, because sometimes we are like, what should I do? Should I do a cleanse? Should I, do like TRX, like whatever, like exercise? Should I do this? Should I do that? And it's like, well, are you sleeping? Yeah. And are you resting? And do you have an appetite? Because that's a sign of a healthy, functioning digestive system. Is you get hungry, and that you eliminate every day. So you have healthy, satisfying bowel movements. If any of those things are off, look into addressing them and restoring that healthy function. And also, move. Don't just sit all day. Don't just work and sit all day. Move and breathe, And so these things I think are necessary for any level of health, but especially if you're concerned about your skin's look and feel and health, state of your skin's health, then these things are really important to be in good working order. So you can put that part of your house in order first. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I just find this to be so impactful.
Yes. And that's what I love about Chinese medicine. It's so impactful. All I'm doing right now is talking to you guys about Chinese medicine and its principles. And it's so educational. It's so guiding. There's so many great guiding principles that can help you navigate how to live your life well just through the principles of Chinese medicine. And this is because Chinese medicine is based on the principle of nature. All they really did was look and observe at nature and go, okay, that's harmony, that's order. And so you emulate that, in your body and in your life, and you'll be in good shape.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you said the word harmony. I feel like that's what I feel when I do this. I feel like it just gives me a lot of harmony. I love that word.
And isn't that such a great kind of conversation to have when it comes to skincare and beauty? Because usually the conversation we're having is like, oh my gosh, like, how do I get rid of these lines? And oh my gosh, how
do I fix this?
Yeah, this new technique where I can freeze my skin and it will do that. Or, whereas this is such an important part of a conversation about beauty, is this way that these practices like Gua Sha put you at ease and put you in a state of relaxation. Because to me, that's where beauty comes from, is from that state, right? Like you described finishing your facial Gua Sha routine and you just feel great. You feel relaxed. You feel at ease. You feel like yourself, in the best way possible. And that's beauty. And that's not from a bottle, right?
Right.
That's from this type of self-care and this self-regard.
And I think what's really beneficial,
really
and you see results. I think that's what we all want to see, right? So like to be able to have like harmony and
feeling
calmness. Great. Yeah. It's really nice to actually see results. I think you get the same from yoga too. You see results. I think the most important thing you said is when you continuously do it. It's not like a quick fix.
It's self-practice.
It's part of your practice. And we just want to thank you so much for instilling all of your knowledge in with us today, because I just feel like I can't wait to go home and do it today.
I know.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for having me, and thanks for helping to spread this sort of good news of Chinese medicine. I really appreciate that.
Of course, and we can't wait. We hope that we can make one of your classes, because we would love to come.
Oh, please let me know. Please let me know and we will make that happen.
Yeah, sounds great. Well, thank you so much. And we'll be in touch through social media too. Okay. Talk to you soon.
Great.
Thank you so much, Sandra.
My pleasure. Thank you guys.
Guess what, Redheads? The H2Bar Box is now offering a deluxe version of the Beauty Box sent out 4 times a year in addition to the monthly box. You now have 2 options for enjoying the beauty subscription box for Redheads. The monthly box is worth $80 plus, and the deluxe quarterly box is worth $250 plus.
Each and every product is Redhead friendly approved. Head to H2barbox.com to subscribe and use code podcast to receive 20% off.
Wealth of knowledge in the whole Chinese medicine. I can't believe, I really can't. I haven't been that diligent about doing it, but I'm going to start, and I think it will be really cool to all the listeners. We're going to show you a before and after. It's kind of what she did in her YouTube video that we'll link, but it's all about showing, like, doing the right side of your face and then comparing that to the left side of your face, and you're going to see such a big difference. But we're going to do it at home and show you one side of our face, and then definitely show you a before and after. And I think that you're going to be really amazed about it. And of course, we'll link everything because we want you guys to see everything that we've talked about, see the links. She has some really great videos on Instagram that shows a lot of tutorials on her page about some of the things we talked about. And I think it's just really important to figure out, of course, what works for you, what works for your schedule on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't take that long, what we said. It takes 5 minutes, and it's something that it's for your skin. It's cost effective. I mean, you look at other treatments out there like Botox, whatever's cosmetic or whatever the case is, and they're costly. And this is just requires your knowledge on the procedure, the tool, which is really the only investment, and then just sitting in front of your mirror and after cleansing your product with your products, making sure your skin's hydrated and performing it. So it's not like you're dishing out hundreds of dollars every few months. It's just like yoga or just like anything else out there that you do for self-love, is that it is a practice, and over time you're going to see the benefits of it. And I think it's something that is going to become more popular as, over the years you've heard so much about Jade rollers and now the Gua Sha treatment or the tool. The facial tool, yeah. And I think that's just becoming popular as well. But I think we're going to start seeing it a lot more because of the fact that it is really something that works internally. You feel good when you do it. And you also see the results when you perform it at home. Mm-hmm. So I like to personally do it at night. And I think, I just think she was awesome, wasn't she?
She was so great. I just loved everything she had to say. I love when you meet someone and like my best friend Kira, we had her on, what was it?
Season 1.
Was it season 1? I think it was season 2.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Kira Doyle, she's awesome. She does human design readings and she works for L'Oreal and she's awesome. But we've always like really been like on the same page when it comes to people and like our feelings from them. And she always says that like you can really get a sense of someone and like their passion and like if you're gonna like connect with them based on their tone. And when we first started talking to her, I was like, I can just tell.
Yeah.
Like not only is she passionate about what she does, but like she really believes in it. And she makes you feel just by talking about it. She makes you feel like you will really benefit from it. And that's really a talent to have that. Because there's so many people who are not genuine. And I felt really like I got what she was saying, and I thought the whole episode, like
she
the number one
made me feel
word,
really good about
harmony. I was like, that's
the Gua Sha, like entire
process,
that you can do on yourself. And
so we're gonna put in the podcast notes all of this stuff.
Because I think I see that I see Gua Sha used a lot, especially in like beauty articles, and it is an intimidating term. Especially if you don't know what it is. And she really simplified it. And after made me feel really good about, okay, yes, I have to keep on it. Adrienne, are you going to keep on it?
Yeah, I'm going to keep on it. I really am. Yeah, I just really, as long as it's in my I
have to see it. If I have it in a drawer, I'm not gonna
it's in my medicine cabinet, so I'll just use it. I love what she said. It's another step of your skin routine.
Yeah.
And that to me makes so much sense. Like you're giving circulation to your skin as you're applying beauty products.
Like
I know. It makes total sense. So
we're
going to have to...
we'll provide all the links for the products that we mentioned.
Yeah.
The tutorial videos, the tools, so you know what we were talking about in the beginning of this podcast episode. And if you have any questions, always DM us, email us about anything regarding the tool or how to do it at home, anything that we didn't discuss here.
Yeah. So we've been really, really big about getting 5-star reviews. We have been doing Instagram contests and all that sort of stuff. And we love to hear what you guys have to say about the 5-star reviews and what your feeling is when you listen to the podcast. It makes us feel awesome. So want to help us spread the news about the How to Be a Redhead brand and the podcast. Please give us a 5-star review and tell your friends, redheads, and everyone else to subscribe. You can listen to the podcast directly on howtobearedhead.com. Easiest way is to search podcast. All the episodes will come up per post, and you'll be able to listen to them. You can also go on Apple iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget to look at the podcast notes to find links with all the products and suggestions mentioned, and so much more. Rock it like a redhead.